Hello everybody, this 2-minute book review is on Elizabeth and Michael by Donald Bogle. It's an ebook, so I've only got it on screen. Hopefully you can see that. I'm pretty sure you can recognise those faces because yes, this is a book about two of the biggest stars of the 20th century. Queen of the screen, Elizabeth Taylor, and the self-titled King of Pop, Michael Jackson. The book comes from Donald Bogle, who is a pretty learned film historian who works out in Los Angeles. And at over 400 pages, the book is pretty thorough. And that was always going to be enough for me to get excited about this book. 400 pages on these two, and I was always going to snatch it up. But this isn't necessarily a typical double biography. What Donald is doing is he is deliberately examining the friendship between these two stars, because on the surface they seem so different. Elizabeth Taylor, she was from very well-to-do middle-class England, very sexual woman with many marriages. And then there's Michael Jackson, who is about, seems to be as far from that as you can get, from a segregated Gary, Indiana, through a very obviously troubled childhood into a very confusing public and private persona. So what brought these two together? And this is what Donald examines, because beneath the surface they have a lot in common. Both of them were huge childhood stars, and both of them found a lot of inner strength to break away from very domineering families and very big characters, Berry Gordy and Motown for Michael Jackson and MGM for Elizabeth Taylor. And then when they met in the 1980s, what forged from this meeting, which Michael Jackson pursued endlessly, he had an addiction for these icons that he always wanted near them, they blossomed an extraordinary friendship. These two were stuck together like glue. They seemed to find something in each other that they were both looking for, and that is what Donald examines. Was Michael after a mother figure? Because Elizabeth Taylor had a history of being drawn to damaged men, whether it was Montgomery Clift, Richard Burton himself, and then Michael Jackson. And of course Michael Jackson showered her with diamonds and jewellery, which was always going to win with Liz. But for Elizabeth Taylor, she also found something in Michael that not just she wanted on a superficial basis, but she was also incredibly loyal. She was pretty much the only star that stuck next to him during his child abuse charges. So what did Michael find in her other than extraordinary support? Possibly a mother figure? He obviously had this fixation with icons. He was addicted to Diana Ross and Liza Minnelli, but he found something in Elizabeth that clearly he couldn't find at home. And that is what Donald examines. I was really interested to find even more about these stars in this book than I had expected. I didn't know about Michael Jackson's secret treatment for addiction in London. I didn't realize quite how many of Elizabeth's marriages were abusive. This is a terrific book. I loved it. Elizabeth and Michael, Donald Bogle.